Hey, food lovers, I'm Chef Kristen Hatton at KristenMaries.com, and this is
Dr. Toni Hatton, vision expert at www.theattractivethinker.guru.
And today I just wanted to share a topic that's very dear to me about PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which is something that I've dealt with since I was 14, and it affects a lot of females, and it's something that affects your hormones, your mood. It causes increased testosterone as in a male, hair growth, all sorts of symptoms. And it's something that I dealt with that caused me to, because of the hormone imbalance, I dealt with severe anemia since the age of 14. And it's something that I battled with on and off for a couple of years until I learned how to heal my body with my food.
Yes. And that was quite a scare and a journey when you talked about that anemia, because I believe you were like, well, actually it happened on your 18th birthday weekend.
The first severe episode of my anemia happened when I was 18 years old.
Well, it was quite a journey. So we're going to share that with you, food lovers. What happened was, from my recollection, and you can fill in the gaps because you actually experienced this. Kristen was in culinary school, straight A student, on
Never
a
missed a
roll,
day of school.
never missed a day of school. I remember opening the door one day, and she says, "Mom, I don't feel well." Now, everyone knew that I was a health coach, and everybody would call me for all different kinds of things, and I would lead them to their kitchens. Open your cabinet, open your fridge, tell me what you have in there. And I would say, okay, you can use this for that and that for that, and all kinds of things like that. And I tried to target what she was dealing with, like you were coming down with the flu or a cold. And it wasn't working. So the first day you came home and you said, "I'm not feeling well." I was like, okay, go get some rest and I'll take care of you, and I'll get you some things. I'll mix up some things and see how we can target this. The second day, she came home a half a day from school.
And I never missed a day. I never did that.
Never missed a day. And then the third day, I didn't hear any movement, throughout the house. I know everybody's schedule, and I just peeked in the room to see if she had already left, and she never got out of the bed. And I knew that that was not normal.
Yeah, it was a feeling. Any movement that I made my heart beat faster, and it was like someone was hitting me in the head with a hammer. I couldn't breathe. My head hurt. I could barely sleep. All I could do was I think I got out the bed and like laid in the floor in the living room.
Yeah.
On a sheet. Like I just laid on the floor. I couldn't even move. It was I was nauseous. It was the worst feeling ever. It was kind of like being unconscious, but you're still there. And I didn't know it was because the hormone imbalance from PCOS caused me to have irregular cycles, which caused me to lose a lot of blood. And at the time, I didn't know that losing that much blood could cause all of these other symptoms.
So you didn't say anything.
Exactly.
And by the time I got wind of it, it was like you were like on your last leg.
We went to my pediatrician at that time.
But prior to that, what led us to go to the pediatrician, because this was going on for a couple of days, you not feeling well.
It was.
And we were going to her friend's house up the hill.
And I couldn't walk up the hill.
And I was at the top of the hill. And I turned around and looked back, and she wasn't even halfway up the hill.
And I knew something
active. Was wrong.
I was always on the go, moving around, working 2 jobs, going to college, and straight A, never missed a day of school. And I couldn't walk up a hill. I couldn't walk up the steps.
18 years old.
Yeah, I couldn't walk up the steps in the house. Well, my father had to carry me up the steps.
You could see her heart beating through her chest. So I called the pediatrician. I said, "We need to get some blood drawn. Let's see what's going on with Kristen." And the lab calls at 2 a.m. and says, "This young lady needs to be seen right away." And you weren't even home. You were at your cousin's house. And I called over. I was like, "Kristen, you need to pack up because the doctor wants to see you." So by the time we got there, the doctor says the hospital is waiting to do a blood transfusion.
Hmm.
And I was like, wait. What is going on? Can you tell me what's
I
going
was
on
all
with
for the
her?
blood transfusion. I mean, I didn't do my research about it. You hear about it in the movies and on TV. I just figured, hey, you're gonna give me some blood. It's gonna make me feel better. I'll be able to go back to school and get back to my regularly scheduled programming.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, I for some reason my mom has always been like the person that I listen to, regardless. Probably because I have three brothers, I don't have any sisters, so she was always there. So regardless of whether I agreed with her or not, I kind of always did what she asked me to do, even though I was of age and I could make my own decisions as far as the doctors were concerned. So she asked the doctor to leave the room, and she called her wellness mentor, and he gave her a strict regimen for me, and
To grow your blood.
yeah, to grow my
Because
blood.
the only alternative was a blood transfusion. Now, when I was coming up in school, I knew that, I mean, from what I heard, I didn't have an experience with a blood transfusion, but from what
Hmm.
I heard was that you could get, the worst that could happen is you could get a disease.
Hmm.
But I thought that was the worst. I
The
didn't
doctor
know.
said that I could, what she said, have a heart
Yeah,
attack or
yeah,
something
because
like that.
you asked. I had never even considered to ask because I
Hmm.
thought I knew.
Yeah.
But you asked, you sat up on that table out of your weakness and you said, well, what are the side effects of a transfusion? I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
And the doctor said heart failure.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
At
I said,
18.
there's nothing wrong with her heart. I just want to target the blood issue.
Hmm.
So heart failure was a side effect, and I just refused to allow you to live with that for the rest of your life
Hmm.
because of trying to target something else. So I asked her doctor to excuse herself from the room, and I called my wellness mentor, like Kristen said. He gave me support because I had just met him 2 months prior to this incident. This is why we're talking about be conscious, food lovers. Everything that you need is always given to you. Sometimes you miss it because you're not conscious.
There's always a better answer
It
to your
is.
problem,
It is.
a better solution.
And I like it when you said that because I just believe, and this is just my belief. I just believe that there's nothing that we can encounter in the earth that there isn't a solution to.
Hmm.
That's just my belief. I
Hmm.
could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Hmm.
That's just my belief.
Hmm.
I believe that if we seek it, we will find it.
Hmm.
I honestly believe that.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of times we're seeking things and we're seeking information. Sometimes we may not find a solution. I'm not negating that at all, but I honestly believe that there are solutions
Hmm.
here in the earth for us for everything that we could ever encounter.
Definitely.
So the doctor said the hospital is waiting to do a blood transfusion. And Kristen's laying on this bed. I got information from my wellness mentor. I said, my daughter's laying on this bed. I remember you said that the body can heal
Hmm.
itself given proper nutrition. I said, I know there's an answer. I remember the conversation clearly. I said, I know there's an answer, but I don't know what that answer is. So he gave me this solution. He says, Toni, well, I can't tell you what to do. I said, hold on. I understand regulations. I know you can't tell me what to do. But if it was your daughter, what would you do?
Hmm.
So that's when the overflow of information came. And I did exactly what he shared with me. And I asked her doctor, I said, let me have my daughter for 2 days. And she said, do you realize your daughter is unto death? She turned her back to my daughter laying on the bed. I said, I understand that this is my daughter's doctor who's been caring for her since she was an infant,
Hmm.
since she was born.
Yep.
And she's now 18. So, we have built a relationship. And I said, I understand, Doc. I said, let me have her. I'll bring her back every 2 days. I promise. I'll bring her back every 2 days to get her blood drawn and see what's working and what's not working.
Hmm.
So we did that. We went to several health food stores. Again, nutrition. Your body heals, food lover, through nutrition.
Vitamins and minerals and supplements. That's
Exactly.
literally all I had for
Exactly.
7 days. I couldn't eat off the street.
Mm-hmm.
All of my food had to come from our kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I took these
Mm-hmm.
supplements, all kinds of things. I'm not gonna lie, some of them weren't that good. They weren't appetizing, but I got it down because I knew it was beneficial
Mm-hmm.
to my body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that we'll probably mention or talk about in another video. Sometimes the healthy stuff is not going to taste good, but if you're dealing with a specific problem and you know that this item is going to help you, get it down.
Get it down.
Get it down. Go past your taste buds and how it makes you feel or what you think about it and your preconceived notions about this item,
Yes.
and just get it down.
Yes.
So for 7 days, I got it all down. I may have gagged a couple of times, but
Mm-hmm.
I got it down.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was back in school the next week.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
doctor was amazed
She was.
at the fact that my blood counts had gone
Yes.
back up
Back
to
to
normal
normal.
levels within a week,
Yes.
whereas
Yes.
I was up for a transfusion
Yes.
the week
Yes.
before.
And I did what I promised. I took you back every 2 days
Every
to
2
get her
days, they
blood
were picking
drawn.
me with needles and
Yes.
drawing my blood,
Yes.
seeing where everything was, and
Yeah.
everything was getting
Yeah,
better every time we went.
It was. The first time we went back, just after 2 days, her doctor said she is not in the safe zone, but her blood counts are better than they were 2 days ago. We took her back 2 days after that. She says, Mrs. Hatton, I'm not sure what you're giving her, but it is working. She said her cells are going crazy making new blood.
Mm-hmm.
And within 7 days, she fully recovered. I recall seeing her heart beating through her chest. I recall having to help her stand up and sit down. I recall camping out in the living room on the floor for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And that seventh day, I went to take her because I made a list and a chart of all the nutritional supplements that she had to take.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have time to chase her and say, did you take this and did you take that and did you take the other? I made a chart. I said, at the end of the day, I want to see check marks. I don't want to see no blanks. I want to see check marks.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of 7 days, I went to look for her in the living room and she had made it all the way upstairs. And I'm knocking on doors. Have you seen Chrissy? Have you seen Chrissy? And I heard all this commotion coming out of her bedroom. So she opens the door with the phone to her ear and she says, can I go to the movies with my friend? And I'm looking at her hair all over her head because you know how we can go crazy when we sick. We just let it all go.
Yep.
And I'm looking at her hair all over her head, but her color had come back in her face and her energy was back and her attitude was back. And she was ready to live life again because your body can heal itself given proper nutrition. I've seen it in action, right? So the doctor said this was the last visit and she checked her counts and Kristen was well, and Monday morning she went back to school, had a knife kit on her back, going back to cut some more food and make some more recipes. And her doctor says, Mrs. Hatton, what did you give her again? And now the script was flipped. She pulls the chart out and she starts taking notes from me. She says, I'm going to send her story to the hospital. I said, yeah, you do that. Because you could save a whole lot of young ladies' uteruses. Do that. Send the story because in our country, I've never seen it before. In our country, women as early as in their 20s, probably even earlier than that, are getting hysterectomies.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yes.
I've had a couple of friends get that done, and I'm just like, you're still in childbearing age, even if you didn't even want any more children.
That's cutting off a whole generation.
Exactly.
That's our life source.
But not only, so that was the first, but wasn't the last episode of the, blood loss and the anemia and having to build myself back up, because I didn't deal with the main issue, which was the imbalance of my hormones. If I had dealt with that in the first place, I grew my blood, I got that back on track, but I was still imbalanced. And that's what, I think one of the things we have to realize is, even like when we take prescription, medication, when, hey, my back hurts, but why is your back hurting? You took a pill that stopped the pain, but technically it's still there. You just don't feel it. Exactly. So I had to deal with the problem, which was a hormonal imbalance, which is why I had to change my diet for me personally. And it took me a couple of years.
Because you didn't like that. You didn't like the idea. You thought I'm young. Exactly. Why do I have to have restrictions?
I ignored it. I ignored it for years. So I went through 6 years of college, kind of on and off sick. I would get sick. I would get myself better, get sick again, get better.
Because we had the solution. We knew how to grow
But
blood.
I wanted to deny it. I said, why can't I be normal? Why do I have to deal with, the weight gain, the male tendencies, the
hair, facial hair, excessive hair growth, and hair loss.
I was losing
anemia.
My hair on my head. Growing up, I had long, beautiful hair. I was losing my hair, and a lot of women deal with PCOS, and I did not want to admit that was something that I had to deal with.
Yes.
So I denied it for years. I got sick, but after a while, I want to say after I graduated from college, maybe a year or two, I just came to the realization that it is what it is, and I have a way of changing my body and reversing, the effects, getting myself back on track so that I don't have to deal with the anemia. And I want to say just the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been going to the doctor, and it's like the first time in my whole life where they say, "Hey, you're not anemic. Your blood counts are good." I'm just like, yes, like, I got myself together basically just through my diet. And sometimes I hate it because I'm just like, God dang it, like, why can't I eat like everyone else? But I want to live long. I want to continue to work in the kitchen and, do different things. So I have to do what's right for my body, and everyone's body is different.
And I remember when you were in culinary school in New York, and I'm still back home researching. You're calling me saying, "Mom, I don't feel good. I feel like it's happening again," things like that. And I'm just doing research, like, God, please help me find a solution. And I'm trying different things. I will call you and say, "Chrissy, I think it's this. Try that." And then
I've tried so many things.
Yeah. And then one day I called and I said, "Kristen, it's the chicken."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I said, it clicked. I said, the chickens are, have hormones, and
I'm
it's
dealing
knocking
with
your
the
hormonal system off.
And I stopped eating chicken.
And it just cleared everything up.
I became a vegetarian for 2 years, and it kind of rebooted my system.
Yes.
And I was able to gradually add in meat into my diet, and everything just fell back into place. Granted, I still deal with some of the effects of the PCOS, but as far as the blood loss and the anemia, I no longer have to deal with that anymore. And it's a process. Like I always say, it's a process to get your body to a certain
bring
point.
it back into balance.
My body changes every year, every month, every week, and I just have to pay attention enough to notice those changes and to make the necessary changes.
Yeah. Kristen's story is on my website at www.theattractivethinker.guru. There's a lot of ladies out there dealing with anemia, dealing with hormonal imbalances, having hysterectomies unnecessarily because they think that's the only solution. And we're here to support you through the process of elimination. And, as a health coach, this is what I do: show you how to get in tune with your body, what works for you, because you've heard it said, one man's food is another man's poison. So you can't say, "Well, Dad, my girlfriend eats this and that and the other, and she don't gain weight or she don't get sick." Why? Because you're talking about two different bodies here. You're talking about two different setups, two different DNAs, two different makeups. You can't compare what somebody else is eating to what you're eating and the effects on them and the effects on you. There's no comparison. Food lovers, this journey is about loving you, getting to know you, what works for you, what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel energized, what makes you feel vibrant, because the body can heal itself. I don't care what's going on. If you're living in a body, healing is built in. I believe that. And it's our responsibility. We're walking around with these bodies. And I said that, I was speaking out on a call just yesterday, I believe. And I mentioned that, we're walking around and we have all these organs and we never even talk to them. Most of the time, we don't even think about our lungs or our liver or our kidneys until something's wrong with it. And then we start praying and asking God to help us, and, "Oh Lord, please," But we need to start paying attention and be grateful for our organs. In the morning, during your gratitude sessions, being grateful for your organs. I am so grateful for my lungs. I am so grateful that my kidneys are functioning by design. Just being grateful, being conscious that you have these organs. If we want them to continue to work for us, right? We have to be conscious of them and work for them by giving them what they need, right?
Definitely. I really agree with that. I don't talk to my organs, but maybe I should.
You should. I mean, it's all about gratitude. Aren't we grateful for our brains? Aren't we grateful to be able to think and complete a thought? Aren't we grateful to be able to remember? Aren't we grateful to be able to learn? Aren't we grateful? Aren't you grateful sitting right here and your heart is beating without your effort? through an involuntary process. You're wired to stay alive. You're wired for your blood systems to be balanced at a certain level that will keep you alive. Aren't we grateful for that? But when we hear, people talk about what are you grateful for? List 10 things you're grateful for. Sometimes we're clueless. Why are we clueless? We're walking around in this fascinating body and we're not, appreciative or conscious
we
of
don't
it.
take notice of the small things. We think it's just gonna always,
Yeah,
like
because
that
it's been like that. It's going to always
forever.
be like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. But it's not going to always be like that. We're changing and growing, and we need to be grateful for and appreciate more of what we do have. Food lovers.
So I guess the point of today's video, I just want to encourage anyone who's dealing with anemia from blood loss or PCOS that there is a solution to your problem. There is a way to balance your hormones, to grow your blood overnight. There is an answer to your problem, and that you're not the only one. That was one of the things that I had a really hard time dealing with mentally. I just felt like I was the only one dealing with this. I'm like, I'm a girl, like I gotta go to school like this. Sometimes I couldn't even hang out with my friends because I was so sick, and it was like the worst. So you're not the only one dealing with this. If you just get online and type it in, you'll see all kinds of forums and things where all different ages, lifestyle of women are dealing with this. So
I totally agree. Again, food lovers, another episode of Lifestyle of a Food Lover. We hope that you have gathered something valuable that you can use. If you're not dealing with it, I'm sure you know someone who is. So I want to, encourage you to share this video. Share this video, share the link. A lot of times we want to help people and we want to add value, we want to make a difference. Something simple as clicking share. Something simple as copying the link and pasting it on your page.
Or just posting a comment if you have any questions, if you would like to know the regimen that I use to grow my blood, if you would like to know what type of diet I use, different things that I incorporate into my diet on a weekly basis so that I can stay healthy. Just leave a comment, subscribe, shoot me an email at info@kristenmaries.com, or you can click on my contact page at kristenmaries.com.
Yeah, and subscribe to your newsletter and get recipes and tips and tools and upcoming events and things like that. Again, food lovers, this is Lifestyle of a Food Lover. We hope that we've added value to your life today. We so appreciate you stopping by. I am Dr. Toni Hatton, vision expert, certified health coach at www.theattractivethinker.guru, and
I'm Chef Kristen Hatton at kristenmaries.com.
bye, food lovers.